All right, I'll say, how are you all this evening of your time as you create time to exist? Thank you very much. We will begin this interaction this evening of your time in the spirit of play, the spirit of fun, and will, in that sense, partake of together an idea that you may loosely label a game. However, it is far more than simply a game. And again, utilizing the symbol of it as a game to put yourself in that way into the mood of play, the spirit, as you say, of play, will allow you to glean from it most fully. So allow us now to begin with the entitlement of this interaction. Make believe and understand. You do create yourself into physicality. You are, in every sense, a higher self, an oversoul. And the way in which you funnel but a portion of your totality into this physical reality is through the mechanism of the imagination of your higher self. So you are creating this reality through your overall imagination. Understand that, therefore, you may say, using this as a guide, that your imagination is quite real. It is only your definition of your physicalized portion of your imagination that has labeled it to be stuff dreams are made of, fantasy, escaping from reality. But understand that that is simply a judgment, a separation, a limited definition of what your imagination truly is. And understanding again that you create this reality through the imagination of your oversoul, you can understand that it is in fact a tool. One of the primary characteristics of it as a tool is that it is very individual. Each individual has the imagination that suits them most fully, that works for them the best. So recognize that although you have chosen in your society to utilize your imagination as an escape, as the alternative to what is truly available, it can also be realized and utilized as a tool for personal growth. Therefore, allow us now to play a bit. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep and loving breaths. Now recognize whatever way your imagination will provide what it is we are speaking of is perfect for you. This is in fact what we mean when we say it is your individualized tool. So if you will from the onset, as you say, begin to allow anything that your imagination will add, alter, or enhance to what we are saying to serve you, you will then be using it most fully within the parameters we will impart. So again, if your imagination in any way changes or alters what we are communicating, that is what will be most conducive for your own understanding. So do not say, I am not getting it. You are. And in fact, when we are through, what we will in that sense accomplish will add to the equation that you define yourself to be. And you will in that sense then have the ability to recall what we will together now conjure up at any time. Therefore, whatever way your imagination provides you with images, with impressions, with ideas is absolutely perfect. Do not think you need see visible pictures as though you are viewing through your eyes. Allow your imagination to function in any way that it does for you without invalidating it. Again, allow yourself now to blank the screen of your imagination. each and every one of you, in your own way and at your own pace, begin to conjure up in your mind an imaginary you. This imaginary you will represent everything it is you wish to be right now. Therefore, begin to now draw into your imagination the image of the you prefer to be. If in that sense you are happy with the way you are, then you may simply add whatever it is, any small thing that you wish to do, wish to be, and picture yourself in your imagination already as this you. Again, at your own pace. Now, with all the vividness that you can muster, and again, in your own way, how are you dressed? Picture how you are dressed. Picture how you stand, how you hold yourself. Picture how you walk, how you carry yourself. Allow yourself to see how the preferential you, if you will, acts when they get up in the morning. What do they do? Remember, this is the you truly wish to be. So therefore, allow your imagination to be imbued with how you think this you would act upon the simple notion of awakening. Getting up, going about the business of the morning, as you say. We will leave a moment. Picture how that you, in whatever your situation is in life, as again you move into your morning time, interacts with other individuals. Do not compare at this point yourself to this you. Simply allow your imagination to provide the symbols, to provide the vision of that you interacting with other individuals. How does that you treat other individuals? How does that you respond to what you label upon your planet? Criticism. How does that you, when wishing to express who you are to someone who you may feel does not wish to hear it, how do you express it to them in a loving way? Not squelching who you are and saying what you think they wish to hear, but expressing what it is you are in a loving way. Picture this now. Allow yourself, in any way that you will, to begin to focus in on the thing in your life that excites you the most. Allow the imaginary you to walk in that excitement, to be doing that thing, and observe. Now understand, what we are conjuring up, well, all right, for lack of a better terminology, is the referential preferential you. Therefore, allow your mind to lock in this image, recognizing that you can call upon it any time. at your own rate and in your own timing. Return to the surroundings of your room. Open your eyes, as you say. Now recognize you create your reality through your beliefs. Whatever you believe to be most likely will be your reality. Recognize that to be the you just allowed yourself to view. It is very simple. Your belief that it is most complicated to become that you is simply a belief. Again, you create your reality through them. So if you believe it is most complicated, you will create that effect. If you believe again that it is most complicated, however, admit it to yourself. You can only change a belief if you will own it. So therefore, even if it is not a belief you prefer, at least own it. Recognize that the, shall we say, opposite notion is that it is that simple. And that if you wish to have that belief experientially in your life, that you need but recognize that you did believe that it was most complicated, that you now will choose to believe that it is most simple and begin to act as though you feel it is most simple. Now allow us to complete, in that sense, the picture and understand what we have just shared with you and its usefulness. In any given moment of your life, if you will but act as the you pictured in your imagination, you will be that you in that moment. You will get the results of being that you, the life you say you prefer. Now, why we refer to this as the referential preferential you is you can use this for reference anytime. Any time you feel that you are not happy or satisfied with what you are doing in any given moment, sit down, relax, recall the you have in that sense just created. Hand the situation over to that you and see what that you does. Because it is the preferential you will always love what it does. Therefore, once you give yourself to see that that is an option, it will be most easy to do. For if you see someone doing something and you like it, it is most effortless to do that thing. Therefore, you can conjure up at any time, in any given situation, that you hand over the scenario to them and recognize that if you will be but willing to act as though they act in that situation, you will get the same result. One more thing. In the moment that you did allow yourself to picture that imaginary you, in order to be able to conjure it up, you were that you. In that moment, by simply conjuring it up in your imagination, you are what it is you are seeing at that moment. Now, many individuals then choose to not act that way, and then they are the yous they were. But if you will realize that you are that you in that moment, and simply continue to act as that you will be that you right now and not in the future. For understand, your ecstasy, your joy need not lie in the future. If in that sense you will place it in the future, then you can always chase it, always be getting there and never be there. But recognize that you can be there right now by simply recognizing that you already are and acting that way. If you are willing to simply relax your grip, lighten up, Allow yourself the advantage of picturing the you prefer to be and handing over situations to it. You will find that the tool very quickly becomes obsolete because you will then skip a step and simply be that you. But at first, you may find this to be a helpful process as you create processes upon your planet to center yourself, to remember and remind yourself who it is you wish to be. Recognizing that if you act like the person you wish to be, you are that person, then you may give yourself the allowance to catch yourself when you are not acting like that you. And the you prefer to be would accept nothing as evidence that life was not working. It would take anything that comes in, colloquially speaking, even though it may be something that is not expected, as necessary at that moment. And by acting that way, you will get that effect. That is how you create your own reality anyway. Simply that in your society, you utilize the tool of your imagination in a very creative way. Negative use of imagination may be encapsulated as the idea of what if scenarios. Now, I will assume that many, if not all of you, use your imagination in this way. Well, what if this happens? What if that happens? I must be prepared. But recognize that this is simply negative use of your imagination. For your imagination, as well as your consciousness, exists in the now. And in every now moment, you have all the tools, all the accessories, all the facilities to do whatever it is you are doing at that given moment. So you need not be prepared, for you do not truly know what will happen anyway, and are truly pondering a what if as opposed to a what is. So, one of the things we are pointing out is you are not in any way, shape, or form rusty at using your imagination. Simply that, very often, because you have not been taught any other way, you use it in a negative sense. Begin now to take the tool that you already use and use it to your greatest advantage. You will not only get the results that you seek, but by being willing to validate your imagination, it will become reinforced. It will become more vivid. You will, in that sense, exercise the, colloquially speaking, muscles of your imagination, and the process will become quite effortless. So do not judge your imagination right now, because right now it is exactly how it need be to serve you in this way. And if you are willing to allow it to do the job that it was created to do, it will be very happy. And in that sense, so will you. Allow us now to extend to you our unconditional love and appreciation for your willingness to be a part of my imagination. I trust my imagination. Therefore, from my end, although these interactions are taking place within my imagination, I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that it is occurring. And I believe you are there. Therefore, for your gift of sharing, of swimming in the collective sea of our imaginations, I thank you and ask you now, how may I be of service to you? Sharing.